morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on Spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on Spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on Spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Singing and dancing with my mind. Stayed on Spirit. Happy New Year, CSL Simi Valley. Welcome to another Virch service in another year. Who would have thunk? Oh my goodness. A friend of ours sent their Christmas card, you know, those Christmas cards that are handmade and they've got the letter that goes with it. At the bottom it said, "Get thee behind thee 2020." Yeah, as if it were Satan. It has definitely been a journey, and we are still in the journey. But there is light at the end of the tunnel, and it is not a train. So we're welcome for that, right? Great service coming for us this morning. Fantastic music from across the border. Amy Bishop all the way from Canada giving her wonderful songs to us today. As you already saw, the Soul Purpose Band with Cherie Deeds is here. Reverend Johanna is your practitioner for the day. Lovely activities coming up. We've got Virch after service, so please join us for that as we wind ourselves up for this new year. Yeah, what a journey. Well, we're going to move forward so we can expand inward. It's kind of the as I wrote in the thing, it's the paradox. It's the paradox of life that you have to go in and you can go out at the same time. That's how Spirit works for us. So we'll try to unpack that a little bit later today. And before we begin, we still have the vision and mission statement that has been the one that we hold to each and every year. And here it is for us right here and now. It says, "We're community, inclusive, loving, and authentic. We celebrate all paths to God in gratitude, empowering self and others. We serve compassionately through outreach, inspiration, and education. That's who we are. That's why we're here. And here's what we do." And the things we do are stay together as a community. And we also bring some consistency to the ever-changing activities of life. One of those consistencies is the first Wednesday of every month. I knew there was an M in that sentence somewhere. Yes, the first Wednesday of every month, we have the community salon. And the first Wednesday's coming up. And that means the community salon. Here's Reverend Johanna with more.
Hi everyone, this Wednesday, January 6th, we have the Simi Community Salon at 7 p.m. via Zoom. I invite you to come and join us. Our theme will be moving forward. The Simi Community Salon was created so that we can share our art, our fine art, our poetry, our music, our stories, or fine art, poetry, stories, music of others that we are inspired by around a theme. And the theme for this Wednesday is moving forward. In this way, when we share in this way through the arts, we notice that our hearts open, we get to share ourselves, and we actually get to see others for who they are. It's beautiful and it's inspirational. So come and join us. See you there.
This week's Community Salon. The theme again, moving forward, and the Zoom ID is the same we have been using, but here it is on the screen. It will also be in your constant contact email blast. You can send Reverend Johanna or Dorothy Morgan a email, and they will send you this same link so that you know how to get there. Actually, they'll send you the ID, but they may send you the link, so you can just push a button and go directly to 832-870-2651. Now, earlier, oh, you're still there. There you go. Earlier in the evening, there's going to be Debbie Jarvis doing yoga. She continues with her yoga. Those of you who have been going already know the Zoom ID for it, but come and join her for this hour of spiritual uplift for your body, mind, and soul. It's really special. She's doing a great job at it. 878-5693-8671, passcode 253932. See, I put it into two sections there. That's called chunking. See, if I said 253932, not as easy to remember, but 253932. Chunk it, easier to remember. Also, we have our men's group and our women's group. The Giants and the Sacred Sisters are going to be meeting next Saturday, their first meeting of the year. This is the 1-year anniversary for the reconstitution of our women's group, the Sacred Sisters, under the guidance and facilitation of Jan Daly. So they'll be happening on next Saturday at 10:30, and they'll be talking about resolve, evolve, and enjoy the ride. And the Giants are going to be talking about facing challenges as they move through the opening stages. And I want to make a public thank you. And when you see him next time, give Costa a big hug. Costa has led our men's group for 7 years. Wonderful guidance, excellent facilitations, held it together tightly. It's a dynamic bunch of men. Probably our men's group is actually bigger than our Sacred Sisters, and that's unusual for most churches. It's usually the women's group that's the bigger group. Nothing against the Sacred Sisters, challenge, but it's amazing what the Giants have done under the leadership of Costa, and we are now turning the hands over to Dale Aarons. He will be the facilitator of the men's group moving forward, and he sent out a new password and Zoom ID for the meeting. I've got both of them for you right here. Saturday, January 9th, Giants, write this down, men, 821-8548-0424. There's the passcode, 249-915. Again, this will be in our e-blast that goes out later this week. Sacred Sisters, your same ID that you've been using, Jan's ID, 908-747-6278. They use a waiting room, so there's no passcode for that one. Also, New Year, bringing back, that's right, Oneness at 1, coming back Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock. Be there. I'll be there on Facebook. Come to my page. That's how you get to it. Dr. Susan continues with Play and Learn with Dr. Susan, streaming live at 9:30 on cslcme.org, and it's also available on our YouTube channel. And our practitioners, ministers, and are available for you always for prayer and treatment. You can find a practitioner by going to cslcme.org, follow the prompts. You can also, on our website, make a prayer request, and it'll go through to the practitioners as well. Dee Malore brings those together each week and then distributes the information to all of our practitioners, and then we pray for you throughout the week for whatever condition that you've asked for treatment about. That's how we work that, okay? So those are the things that are coming up for us. I want to welcome everyone that's here viewing from wherever you may be, whether it's a place where there's oranges growing on the trees or frozen orange juice in your refrigerator, because we got it for you here today on Virch, and we're going to take you now to our lovely Cherie Deeds. You ready for Holy Holy?
Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley. Wishing you a blessed 2021. I'm so glad we're all here together. We are at the art portion of our service. This is where we practice the Science of Mind spiritual practices of affirmation, where we affirm the truth for ourselves, reading or study of the Science of Mind principles, and treatment, where we bless the service together. Okay, so we'll start with our affirmation, and I'll read it first, and then we all say it together. There is power in saying an affirmation out loud, so do it wherever you are. All right, our affirmation today is: there are two great territories I consciously explore: my inner being and my outward experience. Doing so, each is more joyous, satisfying, beneficial, and whole. So let's do it together. There are two great territories I consciously explore: my inner being and my outward experience. Doing so, each is more joyous, satisfying, beneficial, and whole. Our reading for today, or our study, comes from the Guide for Spiritual Living, our Science of Mind magazine. The article was written by Reverend Dr. David Alexander, and this is what he says. Here we are, January 2021, perhaps the most anticipated turn of the year in our lifetime. A new year always brings with it a sense of a fresh start, new hope, renewed vision and purpose, a chance to do and be better than before. Yet success in a new year is dependent on more than just a turn of the page in time. It requires a grounding in and a recommitment to the basic foundation of what we know and how consciousness works. When a renewed purpose and intention are combined with a renewed commitment to the basics, something profound happens. Spirit meets us in this fresh place and amplifies the desires of our hearts. The first basic idea we can build our year on is having a mind that thinks. That is it. You have consciousness, and that consciousness is active and in concretely real ways in charge of what your experience is every day. This consciousness is always producing something, and spirit is always and automatically moving in the direction of our affirmation. Second, carefully examine all the feedback the universe is giving you. When you closely listen to the wisdom your body gives you in feedback, you are more capable of amplifying your health. The same is true for every area of your life. The universal wisdom is always speaking and providing insights to further your growth, depth, and expansion. You just have to learn how to listen. Whether the feedback is positive or negative, simply ask it. Why are you here? What do you have to teach me? Now let's all take a deep breath and close our eyes. Recognizing that there's only one consciousness, one divine consciousness that has expressed as each and every one of us and all that we are in. That we live in that divine consciousness that is pure love, well-being, wholeness, lavish abundance, knowingness, and power. That the divine consciousness has created everything out of itself unto itself for its own enjoyment. And therefore each and every one is made of this divine consciousness, and the service this morning is made of this divine consciousness. And therefore I say that the love, the knowingness, the power, the lavish abundance, the wholeness flows easily and effortless through the medium of this service, through our bodies, through our minds, through our experience of life. And for this, I'm just so grateful, and I let it be, and so it is.
closer than a heartbeat, closer than the breath in your lungs, closer even still than the pulse within your veins. I am, I am, I am closer than a lover or a child. I'm part of every person, kind and wild. I am everything you are. I'm the wish and I'm the star. I am, I am, I am. I'm the oak that's climbing skyward. I'm a dandelion seed. Every broken heart, every good deed, every kind word spoken, every tear that's cried. I'm that little whisper that won't be denied. All that ever was, will ever be. Passion, truth, and love, and lasting peace. I am everything you see. I am you and you are me. I am, I am, I am. I am spirit, the one mind. I am laughter, I'm divine. I am, I am, I am. I am, I am, I am. I am, I am. Amen.
And now we go into the spiritual practice of meditation. We give thanks to Cherie Deeds and John McCloskey to give us a beautiful video of the ocean that we can meditate upon. So just take a deep breath and settle in and be ready to watch the ocean for 3 minutes. If any thoughts come up, just let them float away with the waves. Let's meditate. And take another deep breath. Whatever experiences you have had in meditation, just anchor them. Affirm them. Give thanks for them. And another deep breath. And we're back.
My voice it soars, but will I speak up? My eyes do see, but will I look? These boots do walk, but will they show up? Gotta give up my people-pleasing ways, shed the lies of yesterday. Yeah, these hands are strong, but will they break through the well-laid walls of doubt and shame? My heart's been drenched in brick and mortar, but I brought the wall into the world and I can tear it down. So watch out, I am done with hiding. I'm through messing around. Wake up, time has come for me to know it. Own it, love it, speak it, show it. Unstoppable, blue eyes that see the haze is lifted. This pounding heart won't be contained. And I can hear the faintest whisper, rumbling, rising, thumping, driving. Well, my soul, it gotta sing. So watch out, I am done with hiding. I'm through stumbling around. Wake up, time has come for me to know it. Own it, love it, speak it, show it. Unstoppable, playing hide and seek with all my secret dreams. I can keep them locked inside of me, or I can choose to live them out. I can choose to live unstoppable. I am whatever I say I am. I'm through stumbling around. Wake up, time has come for me to wake up. Better believe I'm gonna wake up. Time has come for me to know it, own it, love it, speak it, show it, want it, take it, work it, say it, do it, believe it, live it, think it, see it, be it. Unstoppable.
Amy Bishop, unstoppable. Oh my goodness. You know what's unstoppable for Amy Bishop? Her Christmas spirit. I love it. And what is the movie though? I can't remember the movie with, Elf. I guess it's Elf, I think. I think it's Elf. You see on her shirt. And oh man. Thank you for those songs. And we have one more from her. She's just amazing. It's really great. And Unstoppable works so much with everything about that. I love how Spirit works with our musicians. We give them a little hint of what we're going to do, but not much direction because Spirit has got it going. And the fact she had that Christmas scene in the background, it relates to something I want to talk about in just a moment. And the idea of unstoppable, there is this ceaseless movement forward. And that's what we're talking about, this moving forward. But that ceaseless moving that's forward is dependent upon our expanding inward. And that's how we become the unstoppable, how we shift all those various things she talked about in that song. So here we are, 2021. Welcome. Thinking about 2020. 2020 kind of breaks that saying, where you say 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2020 seemed like 1 step forward, 2 step back. But that's not the case. We really do, and have. It was an amazing year. Yes, we had challenges. Yes, we saw how we had to come together and deal with the COVID crisis. We saw what happened in our streets and how that pushed a movement, enhanced the movement of social justice, such that our government now is talking about how to deal with racial issues in our nation. So there are some amazing things that came out of 2020, as well as some challenges where people had to work more than they ever had to work before, had to change their lifestyles the way they'd never changed their lifestyles before. But there was a global consciousness emerging. There was a global consciousness emerging. There was an inward expansion as we moved forward throughout the year. Going back, and I was wondering as I was thinking about my talk, I was thinking, how am I going to segue into this next part? And then Amy sent those songs with all that Christmas stuff in the background, and I want to take you back to Christmas, to the holiday mealtime. Even though the meals were changed, we did our meals a lot of times with Zoom, and they were still very intimate, even though we were eating apart, right? But mealtime, historically, mealtime has had some evolutions around it. There was a time that we lived an immediate culture. You think today is an immediate culture, but it's not so. Nothing like, hold on just a minute, I got a couple of little computer things to adjust. There you go. Moving forward and moving backward at the same time. I want to take us back because we think we have such an immediate culture, right? Where we had instant grass, instant building, instant delivery, everything instant. But we really have what we've moved into a delayed culture, the agrarian culture that we moved out of from the hunter-gatherer. The hunter-gatherer was an immediate culture. The hunter-gatherer, they had to eat everything they hunted because there was no way to store it, and therefore they had to share everything they had because they wanted to make sure it didn't go bad. So all people, it was very egalitarian in that regard. But then we moved into agricultural culture. And what happened then? Well, we learned how to store it, stock it, and hoard it, and keep it. And then we developed some lack consciousness, like there might not be enough. So in many ways, if we can go back in time and take a look at what has happened as we begin to move forward, and that's what the inward journey is about. The inward movement, the expanding inward, is about going in and getting the lessons from our past so that we can use those lessons to help us to move forward. So we actually do take 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps forward, and maybe just 1 and 1.5 steps back. So our back in time reminds us, our look back in time reminds us that we are part of the sun, we're part of the earth, we're part of the air, we're a part of everything. We belong. You and I belong to this thing called life, especially, that's Ernest Holmes, this thing called life. That's what he called it. The thing itself, God, the infinite mind, it's life, it's alive, and we're in it, and we belong to it. And we become more attached to it, not in the Buddhist concept of non-attachment. I mean in the concept of religiarity, of religion, of bonded and yokedness and linkage to life as we begin to listen. Dr. Holmes tells us this. He says, there is something in you telling you this that I'm talking about, that we belong. It's like a voice echoing from some mountaintop of inward vision, like a light whose origin no man, no woman, no person has seen, like an impulse welling up from an invisible source. This quote is packed with so much. That's something that is telling you, this voice echoing from some mountaintop. The mountaintop, whenever you see mountaintop in anything sacred or anything spiritual, we're talking about higher consciousness. So we must go up in higher consciousness to receive the inward vision. Light is the idea, it's the mind, it's the thought, it's the thinking. A light, an idea whose origin no man has seen. It's an impulse welling up, coming up from a groundedness, coming up from within that invisible source. You see, so this is all about that moving forward through an inward expansion. But we must listen. And sometimes, okay, I'm going to tell the grapefruit story. I think some of you already heard the grapefruit story. I'm in the backyard with a friend of mine, and we're talking about a life challenge. And at that moment, the friend says, I just need a sign. And a grapefruit, boom, dropped from the tree right between us. We look down at it, and both of us look up and go, but what does it mean? Sometimes we don't know what the signs mean, but if we can listen, we have tools for finding the meaning into the things that we hear. We have tools that are built into our bodies, that are built into our consciousness, that are built into the cellular structure of who we are as humankind. We have intuition. We're the ones that got to decide between the life that was immediate, like our pets live. Oh, you're home. Great. Oh, you're gone. Okay, now you're back. Great. They're right here. They're right now, right? But we have this thing called later, right? But with intuition, we also have this thing called future. We have vision. And through our ability of consciousness to sacredly study ancient truths and readings, we can engage in discussion with one another to move ourselves forward from those things that we listen to, from those things that we hear. Our good friend David Alexander, he was with us a few months back. He says in the Science and Mind magazine that Reverend Johanna quoted, he says that universal wisdom is always speaking and providing insights to further your growth and depth and expansion. This universal wisdom is always available to us. It's there. It's listening. And the thing about the universal wisdom is it's that thing that does not move. It's the infinite presence that is solid, but everything within it, including us, is moving. Life moves as we listen to what does not move. The ancients knew that. It's written in Ephesians, and it says here, there is a power at work within us that is able to accomplish far more than all we can ask or imagine. Think of that. This universal wisdom that David was talking about, this something that Dr. Holmes was talking about, is a power within us that is able to accomplish far more than all we could ever ask or imagine. It's that same power that holds the planets in place, as Dr. Holmes loves to say so much in his readings. You'll hear him talk about it. He was fascinated with the idea that this power of the universe that's everywhere present is as powerful within us as it is within the ability to hold a planet in place. And as I was thinking about his concept around that, what dawned on me is that within those planets, what physically is holding them in place is an inner motion. It's an inward expansion. The molten lava at the core of the earth is burning, and the energy of that is helping to generate this motion that pulses around the sun with the power of gravity. There's the inside motion and the outside experience. That's part of that infinite power that for many of us remains shackled, right? We don't always give ourselves over to this higher power. We're sometimes stuck in that small W will instead of the big W, capital W will, the divine will. I think it's our will, but there's a higher will that we can unshackle through that inner expansion, through that inward look. You see, the beautiful thing about consciousness that we have at the human level is that we are both messenger and receiver. We go within to receive, yet we also are those that get to deliver the message of what we have received. We are the consciousness that is, so as we receive the message is coming through us, as us, with us. So we are messenger and we are receiver and we are disseminator at the same time. We are revealing God within for an experience of God without. We are revealing the God within for the experience of the God in the outer experience, in our forward movement. Our revelation of this truth comes through our contemplation. This revelation of these truths I'm talking about, they come from our power of observing. And that's what contemplation is all about. Contemplation is that moment to moment, here and now, waking up to more clarity about life. The whole experience of it. And that's the inward journey. That's the time we're called. We're called to this space of contemplation. Here in this wonderful article called Coming to Our Senses, Brittian Bullock and Mike Morrell write, Contemplation is a seamless field of vision where we see ourselves. Now here's what's really important. Not only as separate beings, but also as an intractable part of the greater whole. See, through contemplation, we not only see ourselves and get the message for ourselves, we see something greater than ourselves. We discover through that timeless wisdom, that universal wisdom, we discover our deeper self for a greater reality in our individual experience of life, in our individual evolution, and also for our collective evolution. And that's really powerful. That's where the Centers for Spiritual Living global vision comes into place, this collective evolution. And we saw a bit of that collective evolution coming forth in 2020. Yes, COVID was rough and is rough and continues to be rough on our world. It's on our world. It's on the world mind. It is healing is in the consciousness of the entire world. When you are doing your healing work through prayer and treatment, which is what we do in Science of Mind, that prayer work that we're doing now is amplified by the fact that the bulk of the world is thinking about healing. Now, they may not be thinking about it in the same direction that we are, but just that little bit of unified consciousness brings that much more power. It's like going to a pledge drive and they tell you they got $25,000 to give in the pledge if it can be matched within the next hour. Your prayer is being matched by a global consciousness of collective evolution toward healing. This is the work we get to do as we move forward, you see. And this is part of our necessary journey for individual expansion, but it's also for our necessary journey for collective movement and to support that collective movement by going in to go forward. You know, when you have a new idea, sometimes the person with the new idea doesn't fare very well. Martin Luther King, Jesus, Malcolm X. A number of people with interesting, forward-thinking ideas did not get to see over the mountaintop. They didn't get to get there with you, as Dr. King says, you see. It's like the journey of the caterpillar to the butterfly. When the caterpillar starts out in the chrysalis, there are these cells that start coming out, these imaginal cells. I love that name, imaginal cells. Imagine what they can be. Imaginal cells start coming out. And the caterpillar has an immune system that starts to fight and tries to kill these cells. But they're popping up so fast that eventually it can't do that anymore. And so they become more populous in the caterpillar's environment. Right? These are the new ideas become more popular in the populace in the environment than the older ideas, and then the new ideas begin to cluster together. They started hanging out in groups, kind of like the Center of Spiritual Living over here, and Divine Science over there, and the Church of Hope over here, and New Thought ideas. They sort of kind of cluster together, like right, and then eventually they begin to clump in piles and begin to specialize. And then these new ideas become so overwhelming that they begin to specialize and become their own purpose in life. And that purpose is to be a butterfly. How does that work for us? Well, it moves us to a place where we can start to see that from our own individual perspectives, when we begin to clump together and then cluster in groups and specialize in our way of being, we can become that new butterfly of experience in life itself. But it starts slowly, you see, because sometimes this is like my favorite quote of the day. Sometimes, as they say in the ancient teachings, we see through a glass darkly. So it's St. Paul in 1 Corinthians 13:12. But we get by with a little help from our friends, says St. Paul, John, George, and Ringo. Right? In that getting by with a little help from our friends, it may sometimes seem like our friends know more than we know, or they know a different truth than we know it. But the truth is, they're just seeing things from a wider perspective because they are part of those imaginal clumps that are asking for some to cluster with them so that there can be an expansion of specialization to bring a new evolution to the human consciousness. So these differences are actually the enhancement of the whole. And this is the journey of expanding inward to find out what is your truth, what is your perhaps difference, what is your clumping energy to be clustered together with so you can become specialized. What is that molten energy within you that is looking to expand outward and to become more? So often we're tempted. There's a phrase that I've heard in the rooms. It's called compare and despair. When you compare against yourself against another, it can easily lead to a disruption in your own self-worth and self-value. But there's another idea that I want to share with you today, and that is conspire and admire. Conspire with those of similar consciousness and admire those that may be somewhat in a higher realm than you might think you are, and conspire with them as well and change, because in that change we begin to shift the movement of the entire world. That's our call. It really is. It's a new age, as we saw with the conjunction of the planets. We're seeing from the stars a new age. We're seeing from our way of being in the world a new age. We're seeing from our youth and how they've taken to the streets a new age. We're seeing a new age in our own individual country and how we are shifting our direction in terms of politics. So we are seeing a new thing starting to show. And it's important and it's really valuable for us to look inward, to expand inward about what we've known about our past so that we can move forward in a greater way. I'm thinking right now of the lessons that from the gentleman that was celebrated by the tree in Amy Bishop's story in her songs. Jesus taught an idea called downward mobility. People tried to put him up on pedestals all the time. All the time. But what did he do? He worked hard to make sure his disciples knew that they were equals. And when that failed, when he kept telling them, we're the same. You and I, the Father and I are one, and we are all here to do even greater things than I. And the messages failed. What did he do? He got down on his hands and his feet, on his knees, and he washed their feet to show that I am one among you, as he said. Our journey is to move forward and break down barriers that separate rich and poor, that separate abled and differently abled, that separate illiterate from the literate, that separate the strong from the weak, the left from the right, the conservative from the progressive. We must break down these areas and remember that time when we would go out for the hunt and come back and eat everything that we captured and share it with everything and everyone that was around us. Share it with all. To live that, we've spent enough time stockpiling my stuff. So much so, what did George Carlin say? Our stuff has stuff. We've stockpiled so much stuff. We hoard so much stuff. You can't find toilet tissue in the grocery store anymore. What is going on? Can we just break these barriers down and reach for a level of spiritual maturity that Dr. Holmes talks about? That's envisioned in the CSLC, Center for Spiritual Living Global Vision, which is also CSL Simi Valley's global vision as well. And it says this: we envision a world where personal responsibility joins with social conscience in every area of the political, the corporate, academic, and social sectors, providing sustainable structures for furthering the global emerging consciousness. That's the global vision for Centers for Spiritual Living. That's what we're about. And that's why I want to take us now to our affirmation for today. There are two great territories I consciously explore: my inner being and my outward experience. Doing so, each is more joyous, satisfying, and beneficial to the whole. That affirmation brings us to the close of the talk. It's, you see, as we take our rightful place in the circle of life, we embody our birthright of wholeness and of connection. And it happens as we expand inward so that we can move forward. It's now time for our revealing prayer. So here's what I know. There is one divine infinite truth. Life is. Love is. mind is. I am. You are. Those 2-word phrases are complete sentences. They are enough. Just as each and every one of us is enough because we are expressions of the one. Therefore, we are whole. There is perfection within each and every cell and fiber of our being. We are complete emanations of the divine. And with an understanding of that power and understanding of that truth, nothing can get away in the way of our divine unfoldment, be it health, be it prosperity, be it abundance. Our good is here for us always. And through opening our consciousness, through an inward look, so we can move forward into our good, it becomes the reality of our life. I know this is the truth for myself. I know this is the truth for each and every person here on this time together in our Virch service, who may be watching it later, who may be forwarding it to someone, to understand and to know God is, life is, I am, you are good. Grateful for this truth, I thank Mother, Father, God, Divine Spirit, Infinite Presence, for the awareness and the conviction to contemplate these sacred truths, to engage with them daily, and to share them with you, with Spirit, with us all. I release it, I let it be, and so it is. You know, that idea that I wanted to get across, that I practice every day at 1 o'clock on practicing oneness, it's about remembering that always, 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 we are one.
We're all different in so many ways. Some are sparks, some are fiery blaze. But we are one. We are one. Some express as they dance on a stage. Some express putting pencil to page. We are one. We are one. We are born to this life. We are free, living spirit in humanity. We are one. One spirit, one mind, one God, one ever-present peace. One perfect being, being every living thing. The one and only truth, one power, one hope. We are a cosmic kaleidoscope. See that man who's asleep on the street, broken skin on the soles of his feet. We are one. We are one. See that girl in the Mercedes-Benz, beauty, money, surrounded by friends. We are one. We are one. We're all made of this powerful stuff. We are beauty, we're more than enough. We are one. One spirit, one mind, one God, one ever-present peace. One perfect being, being every living thing. One and only truth, one power, one hope. We are a cosmic kaleidoscope. We are one with the earth and the moon. We are one with the blue-nosed baboon. We are one. We are one. We are separate drops in one sea. We're a leaf in a jungle of trees. We are one. We are one. We're the spark that's creating the flame. We are perfect, we're one and the same. We are one. One spirit, one mind, one God, one ever. ever-present peace. One perfect being every living thing. One and only truth, one power, one hope. We are a cosmic kaleidoscope. We are a cosmic kaleidoscope. We are a cosmic kaleidoscope. Oh, 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 oh. Whoa. Oh, 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 oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh, whoa.
The spirit of abundance flows through me. It lives inside my breath. As I inhale, the flow of abundance resides in every breath.
Let's now move from our contemplation of abundance to our prayer or treatment for abundance for Center for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley. Join me now. Divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for CSL Simi Valley now. Divine love is victorious.
I surrender, I surrender. I am one in the spirit around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God. I trust in God.
And knowing, as we have affirmed all throughout the service, that divine consciousness is all that there is, I also know that the giving that has just happened is divine consciousness giving to itself, and therefore it is blessed. And all the money received by Center for Spiritual Living Simi Valley is used in a manner that enhances the life of the center, everybody in it, everybody around it, everybody in contact with it. For this I'm grateful, and I let it be, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Johanna. And thank all of you for joining us for this first Virch service of 2021. Such a great lineup of folks. I want to spend a couple of moments in gratitude to thank Amy Bishop for putting together 3 fantastic songs, and I'm putting it out there. Cherie, let's get her back here one more time before we, get out of this Virch situation, because that was just amazing. I think everyone really enjoyed those songs. I know I did. I've been listening to them all week. Also want to thank the Soul Purpose Band and Cherie Deeds for the music they put together in the Collins Robinson's backyard studio. That was such a wonderful event, and we need to reschedule that and do another one of those as well. Get some more tunes out there. All right. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here for today, for Reverend Johanna for the recap that's coming up in just a moment, but also for being our practitioner of the day and also monitoring the Facebook chat during the service as well. All of you who've made your chats in the service today. Floyd Lula for the closing song that's coming up. And, of course, it wouldn't happen without all the background folks, the staff and the volunteers from Dee Malure and Bridget and Lane and Dr. Susan and Gregory Seymour that are working constantly to do things behind the scenes so that you can see what's happening on this end. And just so grateful to be here with you and to share our time together on Sundays. Look forward to seeing you on Wednesday for the salon on January 6th, and also seeing you the following Wednesday as we do a visioning for our center for 2021 that I'll be leading on the following Wednesday. So come on out for that. And now for our recap of the day, let's go over to Reverend Johanna.
Hi everyone. So the recap for today of Reverend Stephen's talk is from Moving Forward, Expanding Inward. Moving forward requires expanding inward, and then we are unstoppable. When we take a step back or a step within, we enter a place where we are invited to listen, and in the listening, we expand. To hear what Spirit is saying requires using our tools, our intuition, our vision, imagination, sacred study, and engagement. Our tools promote our growth, depth, and expansion. As we expand, we are able to access the divine power at work always, the power that is able to accomplish all. As we use our tools and expand, we unshackle that divine power through contemplation. We become both a messenger and receiver, especially when we recognize we are an intractable part of the greater whole. We are revealing our God within through the expression of God without. Going in to go forward is part of a necessary journey of individual and collective expansion or movement. We do not take the journey alone. We get a little help from our friends, and we give help too. Some may appear to know more, but they simply know differently. Each of us, in our own way, bring our unique selves in support of the emerging global consciousness of oneness, where new sustainable structures make life better for all, the planet and its inhabitants. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Johanna. Beautiful. Okay, we will have Opera Virch after service. I think Reverend Johanna will now post the link to Opera Virch in the window there. I'm going to pin it so it stays on the top of our contacts, our chats, so that if you want to join us, come on over and we'll do a little chat for 30 minutes after service. And now let's do our closing benediction, and I will see you next week for more. Here we go. I'm at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love. Floyd Lula.
Hey, Simi Valley, we're grateful that you're here. This is from Floyd Lula.
We love you. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. In the name of love, with a heart of grace, overflow in us and decorate this place. As it is below, so it is above. May we always stand in the name of love. When the veil in the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song all as one, in the name of love.
In the name of love, may we always be seeking out the best till we all are free, living in a world we've been dreaming of, where we stand as one in the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one, in the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song all as one, in the name of love. In the name of love, in the name of love, in the name of love, in the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one, in the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song all as one, in the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one, in the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song all as one, in the name of love. In the name of love, 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 oh yeah, in the name of love, 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 in the name of love. Peace and blessing. We love you.
Closer than a heartbeat, closer than the breath in your lungs, closer even still than the pulse within your veins. I am. Closer than a lover or a child. I'm part of every person, kind and wild. I am everything you are. I'm the wish and I'm the star. I am. I'm the oak that's climbing skyward. I'm a dandelion seed. Every broken heart, every good deed, every kind word spoken, every tear that's cried. I'm that little whisper that won't be all that ever was, will ever be. Passion, truth, and love, and lasting peace. I am everything you see. I am you and you are me. I am, I am, I am. I am spirit, the one mind. I am laughter, I'm divine. I am, I am, I am. I am, I am, I am. I am, I am. Amen.